this thing, bruh. Hold on. Yee. Let's get the music popping here, man. It's your boy Cassius Cuvée, you feel me? Sunday fun day. It's the come up. Let's get it going, man. Shout out to the chat. See y'all already in this thing. Gotta get switched up here. Ooh, let me get the headphones turned on, man. This market is something else though, right? You feel me? What's popping, y'all? I'm in this thing. Man, we doing big things, man. We in here, man. Kletchy in the house. We got Servando in the house. We got Jesse in the house. We got the blockchain cowboy. Who else we got in this thing, bruh? I know we got all set in this thing for sure. Let's get it. Man. Hold on a second. Swinging over here. Oh, no. Hopefully the mic didn't mess up. Can y'all still hear me? The core was tripping. I hope y'all can still hear me here. Hold on a second. Man, okay, so this is the Bitcoin chart. We're going to be looking at a lot of charts today. I got a lot of stuff I want to go over today. Can y'all hear me? I just want to make sure the mic is working. It looks like it's working. Say something in the chat if you can hear me for sure. Just so I know for sure. We in this thing, bruh. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? Okay, all right, right on. Blockchain Cowboy. So shout out to the wave makers too. Blockchain Cowboy doing it big in the chat, in the private group here. And if you guys don't know, right here is the Discord, which is the Profit Circle. And a special shout out real quick to Blueberry right here. So what we have here is on the Market Analysis channel. He's regularly posting a schedule of what we got coming up for the week. And this is helpful information here. Shows you this is all Pacific time, 5:30, which is my time, which is cool. And, you know, what's going on for the week. Let me see over here. Wednesday. FOMC meeting, right? We got a big week this week. FOMC meeting here. He's got the time and what's going on Monday, Tuesday. Different kind of things, retail sales. But really, the big day is right here, right? So shout out Blueberry for keeping the group informed on the news events that are coming that affect the market. And, you know, appreciate all the wave makers out there. You guys have been holding it down. Man, is this summer officially over yet? Is that what this is now? We are halfway through September. And obviously, September is known to be a bearish month, but someone forgot to tell the stock market because the NASDAQ has still been breaching all-time highs. And, I mean, S&P 500 as well. And, you know, like I said, where the NASDAQ goes, crypto will follow, especially to the downside. Now, Bitcoin has not come all the way back up to all-time highs, as we know, but the potential is there. So what I was calling out all during the week in the Profit Circle was that, you know, listen, if crypto, I mean, excuse me, if the QQQs, which is the NASDAQ 100, just for the people who don't know, the NASDAQ 100 is not exactly the NASDAQ. I have the NASDAQ over here as well, but it's the top 100 stocks in the NASDAQ, so it's almost exactly the same as the NASDAQ, but, you know, it's the mega cap stocks, and they're the tech stocks, generally speaking. So that's why I always say, I follow the NASDAQ, and the crypto kind of follows that, all right? So anyways, the NASDAQ 100 is just, you could just see how many days in a row it's gone up. Now, here's my theory, all right? Here's my bold prediction, as we call it, and I got a lot of stuff I want to cover today, but, and we're going to possibly get to some live trading here as well. Oh, make sure you vote in the poll. Also, vote in the poll, like the video. Oh, I got to tell you, you know, I got to say everything. Not financial advice. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Anything you say, you should do your own research. Also, I have to fully disclose that up here at the top are my affiliate partners, Breakout Prop and FOMC. If you use these codes to either create an account or purchase a Breakout Prop evaluation, I may earn a commission. Helps the channel, and I appreciate you. So now we got disclosures out of the way. I've got a few things I want to go over today, but yeah, the FOMC meeting, I mean, it's a big meeting, right? We haven't seen them change interest rates in a while, and basically we're assuming that they're going to do a 0.25% rate cut. And I posted in the Profit Circle, I just posted an article that kind of goes over the details of the last reports, the CPI and PPI. And so basically this article here, CoinDesk, and then how it relates to crypto. Take a look at that if you're in the Discord. Now, the way you get into the Discord, I've got it in the description of this video. You can join for free the general chat here. Anybody can join that. And then if you want to upgrade to the $99 a month, or have a way so that you don't have to pay $99 a month, that is to go ahead and use my discount code here at the top, and my affiliate link at the top for FOMC, GMMNX5, and then that opens up everything on the left-hand side over here. over here. It'll take you to WAP. You get 1 year for free, essentially. And so you save your money, and I want you to deposit it and trade it in FOMC. But then you get all of the other channels over here where I'm gonna go over some of these today. But the general chat, anybody can see. But then the market analysis is where we'll put more of our trade setups, some of the specific things we're looking at. And when I say we, it's not just me. We've got some serious traders in there. One for sure is Blueberry. He's been making a lot of great call outs. I think he had a hell of a week last week. We could tell by the wins channel. If you guys win any trades, by all means, drop them in here. So you see we have some folks winning. So it's not just me in there. So anybody new watching this, you get a collective of people calling out different trade setups. And if you're new, you can go in there and ask a question about a trade that you're currently in as well, and we'll check it out. We're in there 7 days a week. This is what I do full time. If you guys don't know, man, I'm on these charts every day, and everybody in the profit circle, all the wave makers can vouch for me. Like, I wake up in the morning and I immediately stare at the charts, so I'm hurting my eyes and stuff. And shout out to everybody who showed me well wishes too. I had eye surgery, so I was out boxing for 2 weeks. I couldn't box for a couple of weeks. I got to get eye surgery next week on the other eye, or a week after next on the other eye. So I guess it'll be next week now. So anyways, man, I've been out of commission on that for a little while, but I'm trying to get back. I got to get train boxing for like 1 more week until I can, until I got to get surgery again. And I'll be off for another 2 weeks. But it makes it so I can see these charts better, you feel me? And that's what we're here for. We're trying to make some money. So, yeah, that's the main thing, too. I just want to say about the profit circle, it's really a lot of no-nonsense stuff going on in there. You know, it's the place where we really do talk about trading and trade setups primarily. Obviously, you know, people are cordial and tell what they're doing on the weekend. I'll tell you guys when I'm going to the gym, I'll be back, that kind of stuff. And, you know, people got family events they got to go to and whatnot. But, like, it's mostly about trading, man. We're trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? There's no nonsense. There's not a bunch of memes. There's not a bunch of distractions. No arguments. We're looking at trade setups and how we can have opportunities and call out when we see our Wile E. Coyote trades. For those who don't know what the Wile E. Coyote trade is, when something looks like it's over its boots and it's going to fall. And then we say, hey, look, check this one out. And that's what we got on a couple things going on right now. So, this is a Breakout Prop. We're going to get into Breakout Prop for sure. I'm in some trades in there. And one of them, just a real quick call out, is this Moondeg. A lot of stuff is pumping here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. A lot of stuff is pumping. I'm calling them the squeeze coins is what I'm calling them. The ones that like to squeeze, we've seen a lot of squeezes. And is the squeeze over? Is the question. Meme stocks have been pumping too, just like some meme coins. And everybody's looking for the new booty. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking for the new hype coin. And all the legacy utility coins are still kind of like, you know, stuck in the mud here. But whether it's not a meme coin, it's some sort of a new coin that might squeeze on you at any moment. So we're going to talk about how to trade some of those, avoid some of that stuff. Man, you know, I still want to give people a few more minutes to jump in. I don't have a brand new rap for you this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of my favorites that I've done a few weeks ago, it was about a month ago. And this one is always applicable because it's called Diversified. And it's the one that I always use. This is one of my trading strategies that I like to always use because it protects you, especially when you're trading shitcoins. So I'm going to play this video. We wait for a few more people to join. This one is called Diversified, and it was one of the live shows that we did about 4 weeks ago. And I'm going to just let it play one time, get a few more people up in here. At the winery all day. Check it out. I don't really care what the Fed says. I'm still getting paid on the red days. You know the profit circle make great plays. I can solve all the charts like a straight maze. It's a hedge, I ain't worried about the downfall. Shitcoin king, I ain't scared to wear the crown, y'all. I don't need all the indicator widgets. If it's 10x leverage, then I'm making triple digits, best believe it. You can even copy trade it when I see it's overbought. Then indeed I gotta fade it when I find a new thing. Then believe I wanna save it. I can't pick one, I ain't even got a favorite. I'm a verified wave maker, straight wave making. You scared to like the post? Boy, you better stop the hating. I'm diversified. I ain't only talking trading. Just like my girls, got them all cooperating. Let's go. It's a come up. Yeah. It's your boy Cassius Cuvée. And it's a come up. You feel me? It's a come up. I forgot to even tweet it out and let everybody know that we are live. So that's why, hold on, let me go back to that and let everybody know, you know? I appreciate everybody jumped in here right on time, man. I think, you know, summertime was kind of spotty. A lot of people were, you know, traveling and whatnot, but we back in this thing, man. Let me just tell everybody we live now. Live now on Twitter for the few people who watch my Twitter. These social media algorithms don't be helping me, but your boy got a couple tricks up his sleeve. Just so you guys know, this ain't even the beginning of the beginning. Cassius Cuvée got some big stuff coming for you guys in the future, man. in the future. So everybody, and just so you know, I know who's here. I know who's rocking with me. I know who's really been down. I see you guys in the chat. Jesse, All Set, Blockchain Cowboy, and the Wave Makers over here too as well. We got Moretta. We got who else we got in the general chat here all the time? We definitely have Blueberry. We know he's rocking. Everybody who shows up here. Oh, we got someone else working me. He's doing his thing. Let me show you guys working me real quick. Shout out to working me here. Come on, right there. He putting his chart setups here. I kind of like how he's got his split screen here too. This is Market Cipher B on the bottom. He's got the Heikinashi candles on the right hand side. So how you set up the charts is up to you, but you know there's different tips and techniques that people use to try to help them. Now the Heikinashi ones are the ones that we use to help trade with the trend, and I kind of like them. I do both. I'm pretty precise, so I like both. And when you're trading shit coins like this, you kind of need to be more precise. But just for people who don't know, the way you turn on, I have a shortcut up here, but the way you turn on the Heikinashi candles is you drop down over here, and the different candle pattern or chart, whatever you call them, the candle types. Here is the Heikinashi. Now these help you trade with the trend. So this is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin on the hourly, you can see what it's doing. Now Heikinashi basically takes the average of a previous candle. I put up the exact formula in the past, but it kind of gives you a clue. We want to do a little bit bigger time frame of what is going on with the trend, and we're looking here at the 8 hour, especially when you pair it with Market Cipher B, right? You see we got a red dot here on the 8 hour, which to me is usually a sign of a reversal might be coming, even if it's not the top. But then you can see why we got an 8 hour here a little bit clearer on the standard candles. But then when you switch to the Heikinashi, you're like, okay, but that doesn't mean it's the top. We don't really want to go short until we think some of these green ones have ran out, basically. And there's more than one strategy specifically on how you trade Heikinashi candles, and it depends on what time frame. In my opinion, they work better on larger time frames, but that's why I like switching off back and forth. You might look at the Heikinashi on a larger time frame, and then you're like, okay, some of this you see some people say the first two color candles without a wick at the top is when you enter the downward trend. Things like that, I've heard different strategies, okay? I don't have a rock solid Heikinashi candle strategy, so I don't want to tell you that, but the idea of this checking out what the trend is doing, I think is very helpful. A lot of people, Blueberry uses them as well. Crypto Face uses them, and I understand why. I prefer these ones because I'm pretty precise, because I'm usually pretty zoomed in doing scalping and whatnot, but they are good to see the trend. So definitely want to say that right there. Got it to a trend. Okay, MTN. Okay, we're gonna, you know what we'll do too? We'll look up, stay in the chat here, you guys. Stay with me. In about 20 or 30 minutes, I'll have you guys put some tickers in the chat, and I'll look them up live as well, and we'll take a look at what's going on. So it's the weekend, right? Weekend's always a little funky. I always do my show on a weekend. But if we can see, here's Bitcoin. We're just going to go down the list real quick. Here's Bitcoin. I'm on a 10-minute chart. This right here is the CME gap line. This is an indicator that I use just to kind of indicate where the week is. But it's Bitcoin CME gaps by Neobutane. And basically, it just shows where the CME gap is. Now, the CME gap is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And it's basically where they trade the Bitcoin's futures like the normal trading hours. And so on the weekend, of course, Bitcoin still trades. And so this is like where it closed on Friday, and then when Sunday comes today, it'll be Sunday at 3 o'clock my time. This will end, and then if Bitcoin is down, perhaps there'll be a gap on the upside. Now, there was a gap, and Blueberry called this out too. He said it was at 16.8. We didn't quite make it. The theory is, for gap traders, we believe, and you can see right here, this was the gap last time. That's why I put this alert here, because I want to know if we hit that gap and then if we're going to turn back or what. But basically, people think that all gaps must be filled. And you can see Bitcoin closed there, but then, and so there was a gap there. So a lot of people probably bet that eventually this price would come back up that high. Looks like we almost made it. Maybe we still will. But basically, it says that price will revisit this. Like this wasn't the top. It's kind of how people think about gap trading. So now we've come back. We got a big pump here. This is my theory, though. So here's me, right? I'm looking at Market Cipher B, like everything. This is the cake. This is the frosting. To me, 80% of the cake is the cake and 20% of the frosting is up here, all right? So what I'm looking at is a nice, deep 12-hour green dot. That's a big time frame. And it's like, man, that's usually a sign of a reversal gonna come here, right? First you get the 8 hour, then you get the 12 hour. Doesn't mean you can't get a pump in between on the in-between time. It could definitely happen. Something like this could happen like this or even a little bit higher and then come back down, right? And this won't really do all of that. You won't get a green dot come. This will just kind of flatten and then come maybe, right? But for right now, it's looking like it's playing out like a 12-hour red dot is supposed to, right? This wick came way down and came back up again. That's a sign of, okay, maybe it did do its retracement and some people got in their shorts. But what we're really looking for is the daily, all right? And we're still technically bullish on the daily until this green dot, until this is not the last dot, until we get a red dot somewhere. And we don't have one yet. And you would be surprised. I have this saying, I go, it's darkest before dawn, where you think, oh, sorry, let me go back to this, where you think, oh, well, we're about to get a green dot here. I mean, a red dot here, like things are about to reverse, but then all of a sudden it ends up going a little bit higher. So be careful. Now, granted, I think that the 8-hour is usually the sign of when, especially a deep 8-hour like this, is usually the sign of a reversal. Again, it doesn't mean price can't go higher, right? We got an 8-hour here, and clearly price did go higher. But generally speaking, what I have observed is this is the sign of a reversal beginning to come. You get the red dot here, you get a bigger candle, which is like a retrace, but then eventually it rolls over, you get the 12-hour, and then it turns into the 1 day, and before you know it, price is falling again. That has been my observation. That is not an exact science, but you trade accordingly based upon how things usually work. Now, this is a funky week. So the other thing that I've been calling out in the profit circle a lot is that I don't think we get any major moves before the FOMC meeting, right? This is a big meeting. Everyone is certain they're going to lower interest rates. The question is how much? Well, it's a 93% rate, and I think it's called out in that article I put in the profit circle. It's a 93% chance that they're going to do 0.25%. So what does that mean? To me, that means this is priced in. And I, by the way, I've been watching CNBC every day again, right? So I stay on CNBC because I want to know what mainstream financial news is saying, especially if they mention crypto. But they have a handle, like you can, when you watch them enough, you start to follow the analysts and the different people on there and see, like, you kind of understand their bias and then when they're in alignment. And, looking at the macro trends always matter for crypto because I'm sorry, but if the NASDAQ decides to crash right here, Bitcoin is going to crash too, all right? So I want to know what the traditional financial markets are doing. So TradFi does still lead the way for crypto as far as I'm concerned right now. Web3 is not its own separate thing, not yet. So basically, a lot of them are like, oh, well, maybe we'll get a 0.5 rate cut. This was last week, right? So this was like Thursday. Friday, I didn't hear so much of that. I sincerely doubt we're getting 0.5. I think it's going to be 0.25. And so then the question is it baked into the cake already? It's already baked into the price. Well, when you're looking at a NASDAQ that does nothing but go straight up, I would argue, yes, we're baked into the cake, which could potentially set up a buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? Which is when, we ran up knowing that we're going to get a rate cut really all freaking summer. You know what I'm saying? All summer. I mean, this is July, June, July. Like, we've done nothing but go straight up here. You know what I'm saying? Does that continue like that forever? I'm going to argue probably not, considering this is one of the biggest run-ups in the history of the NASDAQ, if you count it from the bottom of April, right? So I don't think that a pullback would be that crazy of an idea, especially on a sell the news event. We remember on Friday when we had the Jackson Hole meeting, Jerome Powell, now the time has come. And that's when we got that epic pump, but then everything dumped again. Where was that Friday? I think it was over here. I can't remember what Friday it was. So basically, it was in August. So basically what happened was that we saw a preview of things that like to happen on an FOMC meeting. If Chairman Powell says something dovish, meaning that like interest rates are going to be lowered in the future, right? So this meeting is kind of baked into the cake. We're going to get a 0.25%. So then everybody's going to be hanging on every word he says. Someone's going to ask him a question to tee him up. And they're going to say, what do you think about future rate cuts? They'll probably try to dance and say something about, data driven. Well, no, we see it type of stuff. But there's always an obvious undertone, or at least the market likes to believe so. Okay. And the market's going to make a decision in the moment. I don't actually like to trade around those days because the volatility is wacky, and then the next day is when we determine if the actual trend is going to come or not. But to me, I think leading up to it, like starting tomorrow, I have this weird feeling, and we'll see if this comes true, there's going to be some kind of bearish news. It won't be horrible, but something to make these markets, considering they ran up all week, this is the NASDAQ ran up all week, something's going to make them pull back, and there's going to be some chop until the FOMC meeting itself, and then we'll determine a trend after that. So considering that Bitcoin has ran up, this is last weekend now, right? You see the CME gaps, so I like having this on here. Basically done nothing but go up. It's not crazy that you see a little bit of a pullback and maybe some chop until we get there, okay? Now, in the meantime, especially on a weekend, Bitcoin does what Bitcoin does, but what about the altcoins, right? Ethereum, kind of the same idea, but then you start coming down to weirdos like Ethereum Classic. They pump and dump. Moondeg, meme coins all of a sudden caught fire. You know, Peanut. I shorted this one right up here in Breakout Prop, and we're going to go to Breakout Prop in a little bit. Ponke. These are my ones that I like, the Wile E. Coyote ones that, like, I'm looking for them to get over their skis. I want them to pump more than they should. Because the moment we have some fake head fake bad news or whatever, they're going to fall. And remember, the Wile E. Coyote trade, that's this one here. That's when Bitcoin and Ethereum start falling, but the other ones haven't. So what I'm looking at right now for Wile E. Coyote, and this is a little bit risky because Moondeg is such a shit coin, right? It's such a meme coin. I'm thinking this is over its skis. I'm in it right now, already in Breakout Prop. I can show you. I'm already in it over here. Oh, it's in the other one. Oh, Breakout Prop has been kind of tripping lately. They just did an update. Let me see if it's gonna do it or not. But basically, Breakout Prop is I'm in it on my other one. See, you need to refresh Breakout Prop every once in a while. That's the one downside about Breakout Prop, but that's a tip on Breakout Prop. I would definitely refresh it by hitting the just the refresh screen, because you're not going to see live data like right away. A lot of stuff will be delayed. Let's see if this works. There was a problem where the chart was not showing up on Breakout Prop. Okay, cool. It's showing. So you can see my position right here in Moondeg, right? So I got a little early, but then I caught the top of this candle right here. I mean, if you can see that, this one was a great entry on Moondeg here, right? And there's my stop loss up there. Let me zoom out a little bit on the 5 minute here. I like to keep this on the 1 minute, and I'll look at TradingView on the higher time frames. So, I'm looking at this big ass pump, and I'm like, man, it doesn't take that much money, by the way. So for Moondeg, bro, I'm using $6,600 out of my 100,000. Like, it's not even that much money. You know what I'm saying? 60,000 lots, and that's already in a position that is, swinging you a few $100. So know what ticker you're trading, because how much. Remember, there's 2x leverage built in as well. That's going to determine like how big of a dollars this could make. Because even this coming down here, I was up like $2,000. Just this little pump, this little drop back down to here. So like, if this comes all the way down to here, what I'm saying, that's going to be thousands right there, right? So anyways, so I'm in a Ethereum Classic. And I'm also in Peanut. Peanut's been working out quite well for me. Again, a small coin like that. There's not too many more real small shit coins on Breakout Prop anymore, but they are a chance to make a lot of money. So the ones that are small on there but move big without using much of your portfolio, because this was also only another $6,000. You guys, I'm not using a total of $24,000 on these positions. I'm not even using the whole $100,000. So Peanut is another one where you don't need much. You see, I got in right here, and down here is already up $1,190. So now circling back to, this is the if these were Wile E. Coyotes and Bitcoin does decide to do some chop down, not the end of the world chop down, but if there's like a head fake down on Monday, then these other types of coins might just fall off that Wile E. Coyote cliff. All right, so that's the Wile E. Coyote trade. And again, got to have stop losses. You got to have them. And I want to call this out too, guys. I know a lot of people who follow me probably like to short, because I like to short. Because these shit coins are so fake, But you got to have stop losses set, because I want you to look at it this way. When you're shorting, you can't really make more than, other than with leverage, but you can't make more than 100% on the way down, right? But on the way up, you get multiple X's. So like, if we're looking down here, 0.15 on this one, like, to double that, or even way down here, like this is 0.13, like it's only got to be 0.23 to double it. But some of these can go crazy. Oh, you can't even see my screen, my bad. Some of these can go shoot up crazy high in such a short amount of time. You can see how small these candles were, and then boom. So you gotta have stop losses, because what if they come and do the okie doke and they want to go up more than 100%, right? They want to go up 200%, 300%, something crazy like that. You will get liquidated for sure. So you got to have your stop losses put in there. But then it's also behooves you to wait. It's better to be late than early. Wait for this to come back down before you even enter, and then have a stop loss, because it's not gonna, you can't make up for that 2x that you would have lost on the way up by going down unless you increase your position by a significant amount. So just word to the wise, always have your stop losses if you're shorting, especially a shit coin that might, like Bitcoin is not gonna all of a sudden do a 5x on you, right? But one of these shit coins might do that. So I definitely want to call that out. All right. So here we go too. Let me go down my list. I have a lot of things I want to go over today, and then I'm going to take requests. So get your tickers ready. Shout out to the chat. Make sure you get your tickers ready because I'm going to go over what you guys asked for in 1 second. I just want to make sure I've gone over everything I want to say. The squeeze coins are squeezing. I'm calling them squeeze coins now. The ones that like to squeeze, they squeeze again. Okay, MNT. We'll come back to that one, Jesse. Oh, just a quick note. Somebody asked me this, and for all all my loyal followers and whatnot, I'm gonna try to help you guys out on my little platform whenever I can. But does anyone know the Design District in Miami? A friend of mine I know, he's got a big property he's looking to rent out there. So if you guys know anybody in Miami who wants to rent something in the Design District, it's about $1 million a month. He's got a great property that he just remodeled or refurbished. He's a property developer. So anyways, just call that out there, all right? And I might see anybody out there in Miami too. I'm probably going to go to Art Basel this year in Miami. So definitely be looking for y'all out there. All right, so we went over everything that was on my list for the most part here. No moon boys in the profit circle, man. Just real traders. And here we go. Breakout prop. All right, MNT. So first of all, let's see if MNT is even in here. MNT. It's not. Now, breakout prop, we know they don't have everything, right? This is if you go to breakoutprop.com/symbols, you get to see what symbols there are. Oh, I got to tell you guys, I got another promotion for Breakout Prop. There's a contest. There is a contest for Breakout. I knew there was something else I was supposed to put on here. I knew there was. I'm going to get back to MMT real quick, and we'll look at it in TradingView. But there's a contest for Breakout Prop. The same one I had like a month or two ago, a couple months ago, where the more entries you make and the higher the evaluations you purchase, then you get more entries into the contest. And then they just tell me who won. I don't have any control over it. They just send me the list of names to announce. So if you create a Breakout Prop account, that's free. Just go to breakoutprop.com. But then to enter the contest, you do have to use my referral code. It's a discount code to use, so you save money, and I'll earn a little bit of a commission. It's not too much in either direction, but some is better than none because Breakout Prop doesn't really do like promotions for themselves. They don't run a sale on the holidays, for example. But use my code GGRF7W, and that will get you a discount when you purchase Breakout Prop. It also enters you into the contest. So you want to do that. I posted it on my Twitter. Let me see if I can find it real quick on Twitter. I posted it on my Twitter and on my YouTube post feed as well. Let me see if I can find it real quick for y'all. Because they just gave it to me. They don't really give me a heads up. It's like, oh, we're going to do that contest for you again. Oh, here it is right here. Let me put this real quick for the one time. This is YouTube. Where you at? Okay, right here, Breakout Prop. So you get one entry for 5,000, two entries for 10,000. These are the size of the evaluations you would purchase. 25,000, 50. So you get 10 entries if you purchase 100K. Now, I personally, if I'm going to buy eval, I'm going to always buy the 100K because the 100K, you saw how I don't even have to use all of the 100K to make big gains. Whereas what ends up happening is people will use the smaller, they'll get the smaller account, but then they end up trying to use the full 50,000, the full 10,000, the full 25,000, and then you end up getting breached hella quick. So that's why I always say, I'm always going to be an advocate for getting the 100K. That's just me. All right. Now let's go back to the chat here real quick. Okay, MNT. All right, let's check out MNT. Get your tickers ready. All right, so we do that. Let's go over here. MNT. Ooh, they're not on FOMC. So let me. Is it MNT? MNT, yep. All right, so let me get that off of that. We're on crypto. Let's just do Bybit spot. Oh, I had them on the list. I actually did have them on the list down here somewhere. All right. Okay, let me zoom out first. So first, you always want to zoom out. So wow, look at this, right? This thing is doing dummy. How long has it been around? Let's just see the weekly or something here real quick. All right, so on this chart, it's been here since July of 23, so it's been out for a minute. It made a new all-time high, or at least all-time high what's on this chart. I'm not sure if they were somewhere before that. And wow, on the weekly, I mean, it's pumped out of nowhere. So I'm going to assume, Jesse, that there was some sort of news event or something. I don't know anything about MNT. Is that a meme coin, or is it a what kind of coin is it? Tell me about the project real quick, just to get an idea. If it's a meme coin, then we're just caught up in this meme hype, or like I said, it's on the list of squeeze coins. You know what I mean? Looking at the daily here. So we are going to do the technical analysis even without knowing much about it, right? So this is the daily. And there's been some coins doing this multiple days in a row, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Now it's finally starting to come down. We've got a red dot on the daily. If this was just a meme coin, a hype coin, and for whatever reason it's just pumped because everybody decided to pump it, it's a layer 2. Okay, Ethereum layer 2. I would assume it's Ethereum layer 2. It's got the red dot, and so I don't know what they must have had some specific news to it. Smart contract platform. Okay, they must have had some specific news to it, I would assume, to give me this big of a run. However, it is actually, you know what? I take that back. It's kind of following Ethereum. Look at Ethereum ETH real quick. Let me move it up next to ETH. Or actually, there's another way of doing that. We would do it up here. Let's just put in ETH and see what happens. See how it compares on the chart. So you can do it up here. It doesn't really matter. Coinbase, whatever. That's interesting. Let me zoom out a little bit. So, I mean, it's clearly outperforming Ethereum, but Ethereum did go up and kind of sideways is what I was going to say. A little bit hard to check it on here, but what I was going to do is actually pull it all the way up to, I got a long list on here. I look regularly at like 200 coins. We're certainly a top like 60 or so pretty much every day. But we're going to put this right next to ETH, and we're going to check it out here. So ETH, you see what I'm saying? ETH kind of did one of these. Let's zoom out a little bit on like the zoom in, I guess I should say, on the 8 hour, just to kind of see what is going on, right? Point is, it did one of these, kind of moves up. Kind of funny that they're saying this is ETH. All right, so you see what I'm saying? Like, so let's just say the date. This is Monday the 8th. Then we look at ETH. We're Monday the 8th, right? So essentially, they started to pump at about the same time, right? So it is kind of trending towards ETH in recent times, just like since last week, right? But, it's more volatile, so it probably gave you a hell of a lot more percent. Let's see how big this pump was. So from here to here, 47% to the very top, 53%, right? That's a significant pump. It's not the biggest squeeze of all times, but it's certainly a lot of hype during the time when everything was hype. And sure enough, we got the 8 hour here, but it still went higher, right? Then what happened? We got the 12 hour here. It even did one more for you, but it's also now daily has officially turned red, and it will be printed in 4 hours and 25 minutes. I'd be pretty willing to bet, unless some crazy price action spiked it up, if the candle looks more or less like this, in 4 hours, 4.5 hours, we'll get a red dot on the daily. So, Jesse, to answer your question, I don't know if you're long or short right now. If you're long, you probably made a big win. You may want to ring the register. The other thing is this. So this is one thing I want to talk about too. I mention it sometimes in the profit circle, but the VWAP. So this yellow line here, a lot of people have it on their market cipher B. They have it colored in. Me, I just put the line because I don't want anything blocking my dots. But some people have it colored in like this here. So this might be how it looks on your market cipher. This VWAP crossing is what matters the most on VWAP. It's like, is it at the moment of crossing the zero line? It is, and then of course if it's crossing down, that would insinuate it's probably going to go down. Now it is a little bit curving upward. It's not like it's straight down. Like this is straight up right here, kind of. It's not doing that. So it's not like the sharpest drop in the world, but pretty obviously the trend is down. It's just the thing is, what it does is it's a little bit of confluence that says this red dot combined with this crossing straight down, combined with the two RSIs starting to roll over, combined obviously with price action starting to roll over, money flow sideways here on the daily. All signs point to this might drop. All right. So like if you're long, you might want to look into ringing the register unless, I don't know how much you're up. If you think that it's going to do something else, we want to zoom in a little bit more and let's see, right? So here's the 8 hour. It did bounce here, but it's not like we've got a green dot or anything yet, which is, again, kind of following what Ethereum is doing, right? It looks almost the same as Ethereum. So whenever I'm tracking a coin, an altcoin, I do want to track what I believe is its proper like its baseline ticker that it follows, right? Like most stuff follows Bitcoin, but then when Ethereum is leading, most stuff is following Ethereum, and then of course the NASDAQ is leading all of that stuff, right? But even when I'm scalping, I'm zoomed all the way in, so I can see them even like on the 1 minute, like what the difference is. If there are divergence, it's more bullish right now, just this hour, you know? So right now, this one is following Ethereum. So if I'm in MNT and I see Ethereum start to drop, look how closely it's following. Just look at the candles, right? It's almost identical. Forget the amount of movement. But if I see, that's Ethereum Classic. But if I see, you know, look, they're almost the same. If I see Ethereum all of a sudden start to roll over, just give me put it back on Ethereum, start to roll over, I'm probably, and sometimes there's a delay. That's why I say you want to watch the coin that it most mirrors. If there's a delay, I want to get out now. Like, you know, Ethereum's leading the way, and this is going to be behind it maybe by a matter of minutes, if not an hour or something. Maybe you ring the register, and then it's up to you if you want to get back in. It, you know, and Jesse too, it depends on your long-term trading strategy, right? Like, what were your goals here? Were you swing trading? Were you scalping? Were you looking for a one-day move? Is this a weekly move? Do you think we're going back to the moon if everything's all-time high? You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Got your profit. So this is a moon bag. So we call it a moon bag when you got your profit secure. So let's just say, I don't know where you got him. Let's say he got in here and he you know, went up to here. He might have taken enough profit for the win no matter what here, locked it in, maybe put a stop loss here, and now he's just letting the rest ride, and whatever happens, happens, right? And then maybe he just keeps moving that stop up a little bit, moves it to here, moves it up, moves it here, and then if it ever comes back down, boom. It's kind of like your own trailing stop. Now, on your broker, you can probably set a trailing stop if you wanted to. I don't use them that much. They seem like the greatest idea until you actually use them and you get like scam whipped out of them. They're harder on like shit coins and stuff. Okay, you already took 1/3 profit, so that's cool. You know, that's a win. I'm not, so some people, there's two schools of thoughts on this. Some people like to move their stop loss up, so that way, worst case scenario, price goes against you, then like you just lock in your profit. And I used to kind of be against that. However, I think it depends. I like doing it now because especially when you're trading shit coins, some weird scam wick can come in either direction and stop you out. And it's just like, give me my money, man. You know what I'm saying? Pay yourself, you know? I like moving the stop loss up, guarantee worst case scenario I win at least this much money or whatever the case may be, you know? And that's like, I see, yeah, Blockchain Cowboy does it. I know Blueberry does it. And again, maybe Bitcoin is not the same coin to do it on, but on these shit coins, then you know, lock them in while you got them. You feel me? Especially if you got a big win. And then, you know, maybe you do want to let the other 66% run, but at least if it goes against you, you keep moving up that stop loss, and then whatever, a win's a win, you know? So that's one way to look at it. But I would be watching, this is following Ethereum so closely that I would be watching Ethereum pretty much just as much as I'm watching that ticker. Like, I don't see any real divergences from it. If anything, it's just more volatile, so it's good for you if Bitcoin goes up. Ethereum goes up because, boom, you're going to catch a bigger move to the upside. You feel me? Okay, we got Tyson Prosper in there. Okay, do you have a Discord or Signal group? I trade on Breakout, trying to pass my first evaluation. Hey, great to have you, Tyson. So I have my Discord, the Profit Circle. We talked about at the beginning. I'm going to bring it back up again for you real quick. It's not a Signal group. It really is a community, and everybody's welcome in there. And I think you should go ahead and join it. There's a link in the description of this video. And the Discord here, people are gonna be in there to talk to you, not just me. Where we're gonna show your setup, what you got, and then we'll tell you our honest thoughts and what we're seeing. And it's 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? And it's free for you to join. Now, if you want to get more detailed information, when I go over to the market analysis channel and we put in more details and more setups. We also have future trades. I forgot to say that earlier. This shows future trades. So Blueberry's telling you right now he's opening a long on Fartcoin. We'll give you a little freebie here. So he just posted that this morning. I didn't even see that till now. 10:30 this morning, 10:39. He's opening a long on Fartcoin. He's even showing you his setup. So, I don't know if I'd call that a signal. It's just what he's doing or what he's looking to enter at. Sometimes it's a future trade, so sometimes we're not in the trade yet. But you wouldn't be able to see this one until you became a verified wave maker, which would mean you can join for free. The private group's $99 a month, but you don't have to do that. You get 1 year for free if you create a FOMC account with my affiliate code, which is on the screen here, GMNNX5. Also in my description. But here's the thing, you guys. If you create a FOMC account with my link, you get additional perks that I can't really say, but you're going to notice them as soon as you get on there. There's bonuses and stuff, but there's also some other things that makes it easier for you to have your FOMC account, if you know what I mean. So use my referral link or enter this code And then when you create your FOMC account, you get like special bonuses and some cool stuff. But then also after that, you've got your user ID that will be in your FOMC account. Over here, your user ID will drop down somewhere over here. Yeah. And then what will happen is you'll go back to the you'll go back over here to the Discord, and all you got to do is click this, and it'll ask you to verify. And you'll put in your user ID here, and then it'll verify you. And then after that, you'll just go to get free trial, take you to WAP, and you get 1 year for free. And then that way you get access to all the other channels over here. So I have like bullish tickers, bearish tickers. So the tickers, like, so bullish tickers and bearish tickers mean if I'm going to go short, let's say I have a bearish bias. These tickers have, this is kind of the list. These tickers have been relatively bearish like this whole cycle since the dump in April, right? And so I'm like, I'm shorting some of these. If we're going to go long though, these are the strong tickers. These have been strong, and usually recently too, I'm updating this, you know, every time I see something outperforming. BCH, POL, CRO, Link, TRX stays bullish, you know, BNB. So these are the ones hype. Some of these, like when they were really strong, I'm going to put them in here. So if we want to go long, we go long those. If we want to go short, we go short the other ones. So I hope Tyson Prosper, that helped you out a little bit. Definitely join the Profit Circle. That's the name of the private Discord, and the community will welcome you. I run a type ship, man. Everybody in there is cool. That's what I'm proud of most, is that everybody in the Profit Circle likes to help one another. We're not in there gossiping about what trending topics are and stuff. We really traders, man. We trying to get this money. You feel me? We're trying to win trades, man. And so that's what we're really doing in the Profit Circle. So, all right, Jesse, let's see. So, did we answer your question, Jesse, on what you want to do with the MNT? If anybody got any other tickers, put them in there. Let's see here. Oh, Kalichi, can you play Join the Market Cipher in the background? Oh, you want? Hey, we got a music request. You know what? Of course I can do that. Join the Market Cipher. Favorite song. Boom. Unique. Is it loud enough is the only question. I try not to put it too loud. This is the instrumental. I don't want to play the words. Yeah. Oh, right on, Tyson. Been using the Breakout Prop. Yeah, and, you know, I want to make another video for Breakout Prop. I just made a new Breakout Prop video last week that gives like 3 tips on a good way to pass it. And the reason why is because, like, a lot of people get breached. And basically, the first tip is learn the rules. And I thought of another rule this morning. Like, I woke up and just popped in my head. It's like, there is something to be said about holding some of these coins over a longer period of time. Breakout Prop is what really kind of pushed me to be more of a short-term trader. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's where I developed my scalping strategy. Take profit, get in, get out, because otherwise you think you're winning and all of a sudden you get breached. But there's also, like, there's some fees. I gotta talk to customer service again to find out where it's in one of these things here that'll show, like, it's either the trading journal, trade cash move. It's one of these funds. It's one of these that's gonna show you if you're holding something like overnight. There's a 24-hour period, and that's how they charge their funding fees. So like on, let me show you real quick on FOMC. On FOMC, the funding fees are just like right up here, right? And then the shit coins, you got to watch out for this. If it's a brand new coin or real shit coin that's crazy volatile squeeze, this funding fee will get so expensive that it'll literally eat all of your profits. I'm not exaggerating. That happened to me earlier this week or last week. So you got to watch the funding fees. Now, Breakout Prop has funding fees as well, but the funding fees they charge you like differently. It's like there's like a overnight, right? There's like when you reach the 24-hour period, that's when they charge the fees. I can't remember what one of these it is. I'm gonna hit up customer support just to remember where that was, and I'll make a video about it and put it on my YouTube because it's just kind of need to know information. I usually trade short term enough where that funding fee, it's not that much money. It doesn't like kill me or anything like that. But for folks who might trade a trade for a little bit longer, that I don't know what those fees are, right? Like, because I'm trading one of these shit coins like Moondag, like that fee might be higher or something. You know what I'm saying? So it might actually matter, right? So, you know, if you're trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, or DOT or anything, probably not that bad. But I want to make a video on that. So anyways, I got more videos for Breakout Prop coming that will hopefully give you tips on, you know, just ways to make more money, ways to win trades here. Let's see. Okay, Jesse. Okay, Jesse said that was cool. Kalichi. Oh, the instrumental. Right on, Kalichi. Is the beat good enough in the background? Can you hear it? Join the Market Cipher. If you guys were early to the show, you would have seen the music video for Join the Market Cipher too. So shout out to everybody who rocks with me on the music tip. Might have to come back with something next week. No new music this week. A lot of stuff going on. I'm working on something really big, you guys. I can't even tell you. That's the thing. I can't even tell you. I'm working on something really big. This was the beat, man. Get this music a little bit louder here. Boom, boom, boom. That was the beat right there, man. Join the adrenaline trades I'm winning. My indicator say when starting to finish them swing trade more on point than a pendulum live stream every day. 100K minimum. Man, spitting on that one. All right, anybody got any more tickers? Let me show you what I'm looking at. All right, call something out. Total 3. Okay, I always like to call this out too. By the way, total 3 is everything in the crypto market, but not Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so it's like everything else besides Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins, right? But we also like to look at this, the NASDAQ futures. I call it out every time, but I'm always call it out. Zoom into about the 1 hour or even lower, right? We even go to the 10-minute. So when there's no blue highlighting it, this is during the session. This is during Friday. So you see if you can see at the bottom here, 6:30 a.m. I'm on Pacific time. So 6:30 a.m. is when the stock market opened. This is the NASDAQ futures, right? This is what price action did during the day. But at nighttime, it shows you after hours. Now it's closed. This is like the Chicago Mercantile. So it's closed when it's the weekends. But the weekend starts and ends just like the Bitcoin Chicago Mercantile. Or not, actually, you know what? It's not exactly the same. This one starts at 5 p.m. So basically, 1320, you can see this is Friday still, and then it cuts off here after 13, when 1400 comes, right? It will reopen again at 1500 Sunday, which actually is 3 o'clock my time. So this one is 3 o'clock. And I guess the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin day starts, UTC time starts at 5 o'clock my time. So this will open up again here. So this shows me what's going on after hours. And a lot of times it will trade kind of in line with crypto. And you can't go back days and check on it because it's a future. So it like decays over time. It's not exactly in line. But it gives you a clue of what's going to happen when the market opens. So like, for example, tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up in the morning. And before the market opens, the first thing I'm going to look at is NQ1 exclamation point. And I'm going to see what the stock market is going to do. You feel me? And then that's where I'll go into, okay, what's Bitcoin looking like, what's Ethereum looking like, and what's everybody else looking like, and my trades looking like, right? So Ethereum Classic, by the way, it's been a great short. It's been a great short. Look at this on the daily. Every time it gets, this was that Friday after Jackson Hole, the 22nd. It pumped up so high. I was kind of proud of this one. I'd rather be rich than right, so I'm not always right, but it is kind of nice. I literally caught the top of the 1 minute candle on this. I showed it in the profit circle in the short on this in Breakout Prop, and then shorted it all the way, not all the way down. I took profit, I don't know, somewhere about here. But kind of same idea. This came all the way up. I was like, man, this is going to short. So I shorted it back on, let me zoom in a little bit. I canceled this. I had a limit buy set. I hate limit buy, so I canceled this limit. I should have did it. I got it like here, went up to here, and back down here. Ethereum Classic is great short. Moondeg is holding up strong. I don't really know why, but my bet is that this was the top. We'll see if I'm wrong. But I'll put it this way. If everything tanks on Monday, this is going to pay me. This is going to pay me big. The risk versus reward is worth it to me on this one. Peanut is already cooperating. This pump was fake. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these ones. These are my Wile E. Coyote types, these ones that just shot straight up. And I thought enough was enough. And so far, I'm right. I'm green on them. But we'll see. Real quick. Do you guys want me to do some quick scalping here? I got 10 more minutes. Let me see if we can find something we want to scalp right quick. So the way I do that first is I'm looking at the 1 hour. And this is too volatile. Let me try to find a coin that's not too crazy. What's Tron doing? Tron, maybe? Looking at these nice waves here on Tron. So Tron is... Okay, we'll do it real quick on Tron. Tron is giving me a bullish green dot here. Okay, so let me pull up Tron here. I'm pulling up on Breakout, but I'm going to keep up trading you for 1 second. So now I'm on here. We're going to zoom into the 1 minute. It's not the greatest green dot in the world. But, I mean, not the 1 minute. We're zooming to the 10 minute. So now, I'm a little bit late. But now what I would have wanted to do... Let me see real quick. What time did that first green dot hit? It hit at 10 a.m. So then what I would have done is I would have zoomed into the 10 minute, and at the first green dot after 10 a.m. I would have got in. So it would have been this one, because this one is kind of what pushed it right here, this one. And then I would have got in right here on this green dot, would have got out here on this red dot, Would have got back in on this green dot, mostly choppy sideways. It's a red dot here, so I can't go long right now. I want to go long, but I can't. I gotta wait until whatever this does on price. I need to wait until this gives me another green dot, and that's where I would go long on Tron. So that's what I'd be looking to do if I was running the scalping strategy on Tron. And look at, oh my God, look at Tron right here. And this is exactly why I don't just blindly drop in long. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. This is why I wait. This is why I wait. Just because I seen a green dot in the hourly, I would have jumped in and went right in the face as soon as I got here. So no, we waiting on that. We are definitely waiting. So 10 o'clock. Yeah, so this was about 10 o'clock here. This is the 1 minute chart. This is when we got that 1 hour green dot. And then of course, if the 1 hour dot turns red, then we wouldn't be going long here, right? It might, who knows? It might actually turn red right here. It might actually turn red, in which case if that happens, then, you know, we wouldn't be going long. We'd be looking to go short and or figure out what we want to do. So I can't really trade this exact moment unless you guys just want me to do some gambling, but I don't really like gambling. Why gamble when we can trade? Oh, who saw that fight last night? Anybody watch the Canelo fight last night? Canelo and Crawford? What a great boxer Crawford is. I didn't realize he was undefeated, 47-0. I kind of fell off watching all my boxing. 47-0, and he showed why he's 47-0. The guy's a crafty veteran. He's actually 2 years older than Canelo. He was just at a lighter weight class. He came up and put on a boxing clinic, man. Canelo was tough. I love Canelo, but Crawford, man, wait till you guys see more of my boxing footage on Twitter and Instagram, man. I'm about to do a lot more boxing here. I just started again, and my boxing trainers, they train just like Canelo. I mean, just like Crawford. So I got to give him some credit. But I'm going to be back in the gym on Monday, tomorrow, and I only got one more week, though. I got to get my other eye surgery. I just can't, in good conscience, buy this right here. So, yeah, I appreciate it, Jesse. Yeah, no gambling. Thank you for not encouraging me to gamble because I might do it if you guys told me to. Let's check the poll real quick. We're going to end the poll here. Let's check the poll. Do you guys think that Bitcoin will hit $120,000 at any point before the FOMC meeting on Wednesday? It's almost 50-50 split. 54% say yes, 45% say no. Erica, how you doing, Erica? Erica in the house. Almost 50-50 on that. You know, Bitcoin could do it because it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been the strongest ticker this whole freaking cycle. Almost the strongest ticker. Boy, 120 is a tall ask to me. Oh, let me put it on this Bitcoin chart. 120. So this 119 was support and resistance. Why I left it there. I drew it back some point back here. That's going to be hard to poke through. I don't know if we're going to get 120 by Wednesday. I think, like I was saying before, I think we're going to get chop. And in that chop, some of these altcoins might fall. What's going on, Erica? Great to have some ladies in the house, too, by the way. Listen, I'm getting sick of this sausage fest. I'm going to have to bring on some female guests, like, to just sit in the studio with me, all right? Like, I got to do some more, man. You know what I mean? I got to definitely have some more female guests up in this thing, for sure. Because your boy, Cassius Cuvée, definitely want to support women in Web3. And we ain't got enough women in this thing. So please join the Profit Circle, Erica. and whatever trade setups you have, so in the Profit Circle is that's the Discord group. If you're whatever you're trading, whatever you're buying or selling, whatever, just let us know, and we're gonna look. See everybody putting all their stuff in there. This is a new person right here working me, putting his setups in there. He or her, actually don't know if it's man or woman. Stuff here. Blueberry got the cartoons with me. I got my stuff in there, obviously. And we're gonna go check them out. So the link to join the Profit Circle is in the description of this video. It's free to join the general chat. It's also free for 1 year to join all the other stuff on the side here, the market analysis and stuff. We've got the future trade. So when we get a new trade, someone might put it in here. Blueberry's been tearing it up, putting his trades in here. But also, someone just had the heat map up there. Did he just add a heat map on there? Have you guys ever seen? Oh, he just did. Let's see. Look, give him some fire. Blueberry works overtime. He don't even watch the show. He just in the charts. No, I don't know. Maybe he's watching. So this is the heat map. I actually like this. So it's interesting. It's hard for me to trade off. I'm be honest. It's hard for me to trade off of the heat map directly. But what he's highlighting here is these these liquidity zones here. And it depends on what time frame. The reason why I say it's hard for me to trade off because it does depend on what time frame you're looking at. But this yellow means there's a lot of liquidity up here. And the theory is basically that the market makers are going to come and sweep this liquidity, meaning they're going to get all this money before they turn around and tank everybody. Or, you know, they're going to liquidate everybody, and then they're going to come back down here, and then they're going to get this money down here, and they play that game basically forever, right? Because it's like the house always wins, which is why we got to be nimble and why we have a community where we talk about these things so we see something that someone didn't see. Because I don't even regularly watch the heat map, but it's great to have a community for someone to call it out, and maybe it gives you a little more perspective. So I don't know what he wrote. Let me see what he wrote. But let's see. Big amount of liquidity building towards the upside of the high range likely gets tested next week, right? Especially if, you know, what Chairman Powell says is bullish, which might be. So, this is what we're expecting on Chairman Powell, right? He's going to come out and say a 0.25 cut, but everybody knows that already. So what's going to happen after that is we're going to be parsing through his words, or the market will be, to see how bullish or bearish he sounds, meaning they wouldn't call it bullish or bearish. They would call it dovish or hawkish, meaning are we going to see 2 more rate cuts this year? Now, a lot of people, again, I've been watching CNBC, mainstream TradFi, because I want to see what they're saying about things like this. As far it kind of gets me out of the echo chamber, right? I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching Twitter, but don't kind of an echo chamber. I also want to watch what the mainstream financial news is saying as well. What's up, Tommy Chow in the house? I'm on the stream. Oh, man, I'm probably going to end the stream pretty soon, Tommy. So you jumped in right at the right time here. But basically, next week's a big week. So what we're looking for is if he gives a nod of a cap to 2 more rate cuts this year, then yes, I could absolutely see the markets pumping and sweeping all of this liquidity before they even think about coming back down, right? We're kind of closer up there anyways, right? If he stumbles or he stutters, I think it could be a pretty epic sell the news event. When I say epic, I mean a 1 day, 2 day, we're not all of a sudden going to nowhere, but that would be bearish. I mean, considering that Bitcoin just was down here at 108, 107, really, it touched, 107 too. That's not inconceivable, man. Like that, if that, we just had this drop, there's nothing that tells me we can't go down to 106 again. If he sounds with a bearish tone, or like, oh, the data dependent. Oh, so again, the article that I put in here too, it explains it. There's actually a lot of reason for him to be a little bit hawkish after the cut. And the reason being because the PPI and the CPI data. And it showed inflation is still potentially kind of hot, or not as cool. It's not cooling off at the rate that they want it to cool off at, essentially. And the Fed, what do they always say? Data dependent, data dependent, data dependent. So, like, if he leans heavy on that data dependent, and then someone says, well, would you consider the data, like, well, inflation's still a problem, all of a sudden the market tanks. You know what I mean? Like that kind of something, they hang on every little word, It's not, and then, of course, if stocks tank, this is the NASDAQ, Bitcoin and crypto is going to tank too. You guys, I don't even think I've seen 2 days in a row, certainly not 3, this whole cycle where the NASDAQ went down 3 days in a row and crypto went higher. It just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. So if the NASDAQ falls, crypto is going to fall. Now, the opposite, unfortunately, is not equally true. I wish, right? We wish that Bitcoin was going straight up as much as this. That ain't how it works, right? The NASDAQ's the most rid market I've ever seen in my life. It just does nothing but go up, it seems, except for when there's like some weird events. But that being said, this market is pretty overheated. It's honestly, so when people say the stock market is expensive, what they're usually referring to is the PE ratio, the price to earnings ratio. Just so you guys know, before I got into crypto, I was doing TradFi, so I traded a lot of stocks and stuff. I watched CNBC, and I was in more of the stock communities on Twitter and stuff, and I did a lot of my own research on stocks before I got into crypto, which is why I kind of know how it relates and how, a lot of things they talk about in stocks and earnings and stuff. I know about that kind of stuff. So right now, so when they say, they're actually usually talking about the S&P 500, not the NASDAQ, which is represented here in the SPY. Let me go back to that. This is the SPY, but you see it almost kind of looks like the same as the NASDAQ, and that's because the biggest tech stocks, which are in the NASDAQ, are outweighing in the SPY. So, there's not a lot of breadth. Breadth means like width, there's 11 sectors in the stock market, and it's mostly tech heavy, right? So there's another 10 sectors, right? So a lot of it is top heavy in tech, in the Magnificent Seven, or what they call, that's, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Facebook, those ones. And they're all tech stocks, right? And so what ends up happening is they lead the market both up and down. And also because that's where all the profit is. So when it comes time to take profit, those sometimes get hit disproportionately on the way down. People run to defensive stocks, or say funds run to defensive stocks, industrial staples, that kind of stuff. But the overall PE ratio, when they say the stock market is the most expensive, it's like the third most expensive it's been since the 2000s, since the dot-com bubble. and it was only more expensive in after I don't know. I can't join it today, Jesse. Good question. I can't join them after this today. It's only more expensive. The only time it's been more expensive is after COVID, basically, and also the financial crisis or something like that. So there's a lot of room to the downside as far as PE ratio is concerned, the price to earnings. In my private group on Friday, my friend Darian is like, he's looking to short Walmart. I'm like, well, isn't Walmart a defensive stock? Like, if we do get a recession or pullback, he's like, yeah, but the PE ratio is obscene. It's higher than Amazon. I'm like, holy shit. So, like, historically, stocks are very expensive. If any of that has a reason to unwind and maybe money goes to bonds or something, then it actually makes it so that stock market will pull back because they're literally selling. And by the way, I don't really care what anybody says. The stock market is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It goes up because people buy it and it goes down because people sell. The thing about stocks is that they have pension funds that automatically flow money into it forever. So that's why it always goes up and to the right. Crypto doesn't really have that yet. So when the stocks take a 5% pullback, crypto might get hit 35%. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy. There's not like automatic money going in there. Everyone's a degen trader at heart when it comes to crypto, basically. Now we're getting a little more TradFi money in with Bitcoin, and now even Ethereum and XRP and some of these other big monies. This is the first cycle we've kind of seen those, the ETFs and stuff. But like, man, it don't really matter. If the stock market goes down, Bitcoin is going to fall. So that's why these FOMC meetings are so important. So here's the thing. If Chairman Powell alludes to he's not quite sure, it's not a guarantee, it's not written in stone, we're data dependent, that kind of language he does like to use a lot on the next two potential meetings after only 0.25 and not a 0.5, that could be very bearish for the rest of the week and like even get into the weekend, and then everybody panics, sometimes things get oversold. So to me, the risk is to the downside. If we go up and I get stopped out, so be it. But I think considering we just had this major pump up here, I think it's more likely that nothing too extreme in either direction will happen before the FOMC meeting. Just a couple of little things like this, and if that were to happen, my breakout prop shorts are gonna be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like this moon egg is not gonna survive if Bitcoin. This is gonna fall. Oh, now I'm on TradingView again. This is gonna fall if Bitcoin decides to spook the markets on Monday, tomorrow. Or the NASDAQ does and Bitcoin follows. It's going to happen. I'm going to cash the fuck out. So that's my risk versus reward on these Wile E. Coyote trades. You feel me? That's basically it. Any more tickers before I jump off of here? Oh, Tommy, could you show and print me your scalping strategy? Okay, so point me to your strategy. So actually, I've not made the perfect video on it, to be honest with you guys. But the scalping strategy, I'm going to tell you, Tommy, here, this is how I do it. So first things first, I'm going to look at the 1 hour because I want to see the trend. Let me just do it on Ethereum or something, right? Let me see what Ethereum Classic looks like. You want to find a ticker that looks a little, not too many Christmas tree lights, but let's just say we did do it on Ethereum Classic, right? You're looking at the 1 hour trend. So we would look at the 1 hour first, has a green dot here. Ultimately, we want to catch it at the beginning of a time. We don't want to wait right now. We'd be watching. It's a lot of it is just sitting around and waiting, right? You got to wait until this dot appears. Like, I've been waiting for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But you can also set alerts, by the way. You just right click on here, add alert. Let me know when a 1 hour dot comes. See if we're already on the 1 hour chart. Only once, give me an alert. It's going to let me know now when that happens, right? So once that happens, in fact, I could do the whole thing here, right? Then I'm going to zoom in onto the 10-minute chart. And I'm going to see, oh, by the way, what time was that exactly? That was 9 a.m. So now I'm going to zoom in on the 10-minute chart. Here's 9 a.m. So 9 a.m., this right here is where the green dot appeared on the 10-minute, on the 1 hour. Now we're on the 10-minute. You could enter the long right here, but it's a little bit risky because you don't know how much higher that's going to go. Let me show price action here. You don't know how much higher that's going to go at that moment. So the way the strategy works is I wait for the next. So obviously you're going to have a red dot come first. I wait for the next green dot, and then this is the dot that I would enter, and then I would get out on this one. So I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're in breakout prop and you catch a little move like this, let me put this on here. Just a little move like this, you're on breakout prop with 5x on Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, or even just 2x, that can be money. And then you got out before you gave any of it back. And then we'd be waiting on the next green dot. And when that comes, we'd get in and then we'd see how high that rides us back up again. And what happens is you have some of these little ones where you get eaten on fees a little bit. You only make a little bit of money. But then boom, when you're trading with the trend, good things happen to you and you catch a big move in your direction. So basically it's small wins, small losses, small wins, small losses, and then boom, you catch a big win. And you can kind of see it on the 1 minute chart on Breakout Prop here, which is why I want to switch over to this. Like, you know, these waterfalls happen, you know what I'm saying? Where you're like, you know, things are kind of going and then all of a sudden you catch one of these and then boom, it shoots up in your favor. This is Tron or down in your favor, you know? So it ultimately evens out. You might have been in, out, in, out, in, out, and then you entered like here and then boom, you caught this whole move down. Trust me, that makes up for any little trading fees that happen right here. So that's the general premise of my scalping strategy. Hope Tommy was paying attention to that here. Let's see. Erica, I got you MCB, by the way. Girl, if you don't got it yet. Oh, get you. I got you MCB, by the way. Okay. Not sure what that means, but Jesse's trying to look out for the folks in the chat. I appreciate that. Community got to take care of itself. Take care of one another. Right on. Okay, Tommy, cool. Right on. So yeah, give it a try, Tommy. You want to try to find a ticker that's like not super duper flat, right? You want to give one that gets a little bit of volatility, so that way you're not getting just eaten by fees in and out, in and out, and and that kind of changes throughout the day. But the ultimate goal is in aggregate over time, you get to be net positive because you're trading with the trend. And my just experience has shown me, but looking at market ciphers so much, and it's a simple strategy, right? I didn't have to draw a million lines and all, and 10 tons of confluence, right? All it really uses is momentum waves. And the reason it works is because essentially you're cutting your losses. You don't ever try to fight a 10-minute dot because you don't know how big the move is going to really be on that 10-minute dot. It might be hella big. And it's like on a anything less than 10 minute, it's like you're not going to catch a gigantic waterfall short squeeze on that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're in a real, I wouldn't use the shittiest shitcoin, something with some liquidity. Ethereum Classic's fine, Dogecoin maybe, something kind of gives us a little ebb and flow. Not something, I wouldn't do it so much on Moondeg, which may have one of these punch you in the face kind of quick. You get what I'm saying? So, BNB, something like that, I would call out. I would say something like that, That's pretty much it. Well, all I got for you guys today, man. I appreciate you joining. Listen, we really are in the profit circle every damn day. I'm talking 7 days a week. So make sure you leave any questions, comments, or hey, check out this trade. I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that, whatever the case may be. Well, put it in here. If you can become a verified wave maker, then you get access to the stuff over here. But by all means, put it in here in a general chat. And if I see it or Blockchain Cowboy or someone else sees it, we're gonna tell you what our actual thoughts, our real thoughts. We don't have moon boys in there. You know what I mean? This ain't just like, oh, this is my favorite coin. It's going to the moon just because I think so. You know what I'm saying? We really are going to give you our honest opinion, or, ooh, I think it's going overbought. And Blockchain Cowboy can tell you, too, like he was looking at some stuff and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm looking at, what I'm looking at over here is showing me that, this momentum might be running out, and, or it was the market open one day last week. And I was like, man, the pre-market had the NASDAQ shooting way up. And I was like, bro, this smells like it's going to be a sell-off at the open. You better be careful because he'd already wrote it up. I think he's already in profit. And sure enough, that's what happened, but just by discussing it, it kind of gives you another perspective. Even my trades, right, gives you another perspective. And you're like, okay, maybe I'll be cautious on this one. And then also people do call out like, hey, check this squeeze coin out, something that we might not see. And it might be ready for a Wile E. Coyote. You feel me? So anyways, we'll end on that note on my favorite, Wile E. Coyote. And that's pretty much it. Hey, shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate you guys. Share, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'm not good at shilling the channel. But if you could share, like, and subscribe and everything, I appreciate that. Tell your folks and your fam bam to tap in with your boy Cassius Cuvée every Sunday fun day at noon. It's the come up. Peace, y'all. Much love.